What is going on, all you card collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the 40-year-old collector. So today I'm going to be showing you 5 of the biggest cards that I have in my collection. And the intent here isn't to boast or brag, but I want to show you what is possible. So a long time ago, I made the decision to buy all-time great NFL football players' rookie cards in the absolute highest PSA grade that I could afford at the time. That plus time, and now I've got 5 cards that are worth well over $25,000, and I have less than $1,000 invested in them. So that's going to be a lot of fun for us to talk about. I also want to quickly remind you that December, we're kicking off Cards Against Cancer here at the 40-year-old collector. So if you like what you see, if you like what you hear and you want more, hit that subscribe button, because every new subscriber for the month of December, we're going to donate $2 to the local Children's Cancer Society around us. That really helped me and my family out when my daughter was diagnosed. So lots of good stuff to talk about. Let's get after it right now. All right, everybody, continuing with the holiday theme, let's do what we're all here for, and let's look at some cardboard. Okay, so the very first card we're going to look at right here, Mr. Jim Brown. This is a PSA 7. This is an absolute blazer of a card. The centering, obviously, it's off a little bit left to right, top to bottom, but for a 1958 card, not too bad. The corners are great. The surface is great. The colors are beautiful. I remember I paid $400 for this card many moons ago. And in all honesty, I was sick to my stomach when I won the auction. I thought, what am I doing? I just spent $400 on a card. And $400 to me back then was probably the equivalent of about $4 million to me now. So it was an emotional experience. But then when the card came in the mail, I opened up the bubble wrap, took it out and looked at it. I mean, it was just absolutely love at first sight, and really helped cement my love of vintage in pretty high to mid grade. So paid $400 for this. It's going for around $8,000 right now. Incredibly popular player, so the population report's actually relatively high. So the pop in this 7 is $495, and there's actually 220 higher out there. Going for around $8,000 now. No way in a million years will I ever be able to purchase a 7 unless I hit the lottery or something. But I don't need to I don't need to get an 8 because I'm very happy with the 7. This is a beautiful card, and one of the best in my collection. So I'm very, very fortunate and very lucky to be able to have that in my possession. So here's another one right here. Mr. Mike Ditka, absolute legend of the Chicago Bears. This is that 1962 top set, obviously with black borders. Very, very difficult to find in hard grade. Not a high population once you start getting in the 7, 8, and especially in the 9s. Ditka was instrumental in the Chicago Bears becoming the namesake that they are. He continues to be a big part of that organization to this day. Paid around $130, $150 for this many, many moons ago. Goes for a couple $1,000s now. This card, when I was looking at it, it's really sharp. I mean, there's a little bit of centering left to right, which might keep it from an 8. This corner in the top right's got a little bit of fraying to it, but I mean, you're looking at it right here, you can see that there's just not a ton of white around that edging, and that's usually what keeps these 62 tops from grading higher. So I'm too much of a coward to ever crack and resub. Plus, I do think that white up there in that corner would keep it from an 8 anyways. But I'm going to tell you, this is a very sharp 7. If you can tell, that baby blue background behind him is incredibly sharp. The color's wonderful. We talked about population for these 62 tops. So this is a pop 186 in a 7, and there's only 62 higher. Just incredibly hard to find these in high grade. Very happy with this. I love this card. I love this player. I love his persona. Again, just another one that I'm really fortunate to have in my collection. And I absolutely love that card. This is another one here. When I was looking up what cards I should include in this video, I was actually a little bit surprised to see how high this Jerry Rice rookie card has gotten. I knew that it was a fairly high pop. I remember buying it for less than $100, again, many moons ago. Now it sells for a couple thousand. I mean, I get it. Jerry Rice, arguably the greatest receiver of all time. It's hard to find cards in a higher grade. I will tell you that. And I think that's what drives the prices for this Mint 9. So in the Mint 9 condition, there's a pop 1054, but there's only 59 10s in the world. And you can imagine between Rice collectors, 49ers collectors, high-end collectors, Hall of Fame rookie card collectors, like there's not going to be a lot of those 59 PSA 10s circulating out in the world. So for 99.9% of us, a PSA 9 is probably the highest we're ever going to be able to get. So again, sells for a couple $1,000s, paid less than $100 for it. It's an absolute smoker of a card. The green borders are very hard to find in a high grade. So anyways, I love this Jerry Rice card. I like that it's an 80s card that I can include in some of my highest value slabs. I just think it's a really nice card. Great to have it in the collection as well. This next one, I absolutely love this card, and I absolutely love this set. This 1957 top set is beautiful. So you have the Bart Starr rookie, you got Dick Night Train Lanes rookie, you got Johnny Unitas rookie, there's a Tommy McDonald rookie in there. There's just some great, great players in this, and I love how they have a portrait to the left, an action photo to the right. My family is a big Packers family, my wife's side of the family, so we're always big into that. So this Bart Starr card is really special to us. I paid about $250 for it. Population's 323, so I mean there's a good number of 7s out there, but when you go looking for higher grades, the higher is 113, so 113 8s, 9s, and I don't know how many 10s there are. I don't want to misspeak, but I'm sure there's not many. So PSA 7, again, I paid about $250 for this. Goes for a couple grand now. He doesn't command the same price as the Johnny Unitas does, but he was equally as impactful to the game back then. And this is an absolute beautiful card. Again, same thing with the other cards. You see the centering's a little off. That was what really kept a lot of these cards back. The corners, if you look at this corner right here, doesn't get much sharper than that. Down here as well, doesn't get much sharper than that. We got a little bit of a softening down here on this one. Even this isn't a bad corner. The coloring is a little bit lighter. I've seen ones with brighter blues and brighter oranges, but this Bart Starr card is, again, just a dream to have in my collection. Very, very thankful to have it. Love this one. And this last card is the one that I talked about in the intro, right? This is going to be a little bit of a shocker to you, but it is hands down the most important, the most emotionally significant card in my collection. And honestly, it's one of the most emotionally significant items that I have in my life, which sounds really weird to say out loud, but now that I think about it, it is. So this is a 1911 T206 Sovereign Ty Cobb. So this is the redback version. This is graded in a PSA 3. So you know I'm a football card collector, so you might be wondering, what the heck is this? How did I come to obtain this? So the backstory behind why this is such a valuable piece of just history and into my personal life as well is, when I was 10, so maybe 30 years ago, my dad went to a auction, a charity auction, and he came back with this card. He won it at a silent auction for $100. It had papers and papers that were printed out on the history of the card and the history of the player. It had these blown up images of the corners and of the surface. And I remember this was before I was even, as you can imagine, hardcore into collecting. But I remember looking at it and just thinking, how amazing is this? This card has been around since 1911. And even to this day, I mean, this is what, a 100-year-old card, 110-year-old card. It's just absolutely amazing. And again, of course, because my dad gave it to me. You've heard me, I brought my daughter in on some videos, and you hear me always say family above all else. So family is extremely important to me. And, especially, when people we love are facing big challenges, I think things like this tend to become a little more emotional. And, my dad's certainly facing some challenges, but he's a tough guy. So someday all these cards will go to my children. I think that's another reason that this is so emotionally special to me, is because my dad gave this to me, and now I'm going to hand this off to my children. And I've built this, what I think is a pretty incredible football card collection. And someday I'll hand this off to my kids, and I hope they use it as a way to remember me, and I hope they look upon it fondly. And if they ever sell it, I will come back from the grave and haunt them mercilessly. So yeah, but this is a great card. Again, $100. I got this graded with PSA, had to be 20 years ago, 25 years ago. This was the very first submission I ever sent to PSA. I can't even remember what I paid to get it graded. But if you want to buy this now on eBay, you can buy it now for 15 grand, 13 grand. I don't think that's the actual value of it. I think if this went up for auction, it would finish somewhere between 7 and 10,000, just depending on how hot the market is. But I will never sell this. If I am dirt poor, living under a bridge, I will have this clutched to my chest, and every other possession will be sold except this. So Anyways, I hope you guys have an incredible day. I hope you enjoyed looking at this cardboard. I got some more videos coming up with some really cool slab that I've corrected over the years. And I just hope you have a wonderful day, awesome holiday season. And as always, happy collecting, everybody.